Hi, I'm Lindsay Boomershine, Storm National Staffer, and I was just throwing the new DNA, and it reminds me a lot of the original Marvel, which was an amazing bowling ball. It is smooth, rolly, and continuous, and I really enjoy it, and I can't wait to use it out on tour this season.
Hey Storm Nation, let's talk a little bit about DNA and this uniqueness of this shape and the Supercoil weight block. I mean, we have Absolute out there in the marketplace right now. Got a little more mass, separated away from the equator a little bit, a little more towards the poles. Supercoil, man, we've gone a different direction here. More of that mass around the equator gives us a tremendous amount of like mid-lane read. That front to back motion doesn't miss the spot. Supercoil is one of the strongest shapes we've ever produced out of this building, and match it up with that XO cover. It's just pretty exciting.
Hey everybody, Chayton here. Just got done throwing my DNA with the 4x4x4 layout. Really reminds me a lot of the Reality, but just a little bit more overall for me. So a good step down from maybe like a gem or a proton physics, but real continuous and reads mid lane very well.
So the DNA for me, being a solid ASIM, really complements and kind of matches nicely with some of the other ones I'm using in a couple of our other brands. For me, the gem picks up the earliest. Now the DNA still picks up early and reads the mid lane, but it gives me a stronger continuation through the pins. And when I'm moving with my feet a little bit deeper in the oil, I need a little bit more performance out of that ball. The DNA gave it to me, and you could really see that ball just roll really hard through the pocket.
Hello everyone, this is Dylan, your web designer here at Storm. We're throwing the DNA today. The DNA is going to be an early, strong, rolling bowling ball. It's going to be great for patterns of all length that have a generous amount of oil in the front part of the lane. And something that I really love about this ball compared to other strong, early rolling bowling balls is that it doesn't quit on me when I have to move left and get around it a little bit more. As long as I have that oil in the front part of the lane, it continues throughout the entire portion of the lane. So I think that's going to be very unique and special about this one.
Hi everyone, Ken here, and today I'm throwing the new DNA, and what I gotta say about this ball is that it's amazing. It's strong in the mid lanes, and it still shapes a lot down lane. It reminds me of a lot of an Alpha Crux and a Proton kind of mixed together. This ball would be coming with me everywhere. If I know the lane patterns are gonna be fresh or heavy conditions, this ball will be in my #1 spot for when we go to tournaments.
Hey Storm Nation, it's Blair Blumenscheid, and you're watching me throw the new DNA. So for me, I do throw some big balls, but I don't really move left. This ball allowed me to move further left than anything in my arsenal at this moment, including the Supernova. I could get in, and it was way more continuous than that ball. The other ball that I really loved that we had was the Sherlock, and I could see me taking this one to a lot of tournaments coming soon.
Hey Storm Nation, Alex Hoskins here, and today I was throwing the DNA. Now I'm always a big fan of these very strong early asymmetrical balls. It might sound a little bit weird because I have a little bit slower ball speed. There's a lot of oil on a lot of these tournament patterns, and it gets kind of hard to get your ball to slow down in the right part of the lane. Controlling the mid lane is really one of the keys to the highest consistent overall scores. And the DNA is going to give you control of the mid lane with plenty of shape off the end of the pattern to get the corner pins out.
You know, the DNA is as strong as I could ask for in an asymmetric solid, and this one for me falls between a gem and a Reality. It's not as early as a gem, which I use on the highest volume oil patterns I currently bowl on, but shapes more down lane than a Reality. And knowing that most of the mass is situated around the equator of the weight block, for me this type of shape revs up really fast. It gives me a truer roll as opposed to something that has more mass at the top and bottom halves, which gives me more of a tumbly look like in the Absolute. If I start with the DNA, the Absolute's going to be my next choice when the lanes start to transition.